Okay. Good morning, Lisette. I'm so happy to see your pretty face on. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Let me start by reading the Self-Reliant Entrepreneur. I'm not sure what's going on with my hair. Please don't judge it today. It's a mess. How's everybody feeling? Is it early? Back home? 6 a.m.? Goodness gracious, you guys. I cannot get up that early. Okay, what day is it? The 20th. My dad's birthday's tomorrow. So, no single exception. The great poets are to be known by the absence in them of tricks, and by the justification of perfect personal candor. All faults may be forgiven of those who have perfect candor. Henceforth, let no one of us lie, for we have seen that openness wins the inner and outer world, and that there is no single exception, and that the soul has never once been flooded and never can be fooled. Walt Whitman, 1855. Even the conflicted entrepreneur's guide to sort of having business ethics is likely to suggest that it's a bad idea to lie in business. Don't worry, this book doesn't actually exist. While this should be a pretty open and shut discussion, it's not. We can all agree that openness, transparency, and honesty are brilliant values, but as an entrepreneur, you'll have them tested in an unimaginable range of circumstances. Excuse me. And there's one test you may not have considered: the lies you tell yourself. What? What are you talking about? That you really didn't want that project because the people would probably be a pain to work with, even though you didn't put in the work you knew it would take to land it? That kind of thing. There's a level of self-preservation that this sort of self-talk brings, but there's also a giant dose of cognitive dissonance, a notion that we experience mental discomfort when we attempt to hold two different and conflicting ideas simultaneously. Your soul can't be fooled. Work it out. What lies are you telling yourself about your journey right now? Whoo! All right, guys, give me some of your answers in the comments. What lies are you telling yourself about your journey right now? Oh, you guys know mine. You guys know mine. Ambassador. Ambassador, ambassador, ambassador. What lies am I telling myself? I'm too pregnant to push. I'm too tired all the time. There's something wrong with me. I'm in pain all the time. I could hardly get out of bed. Maybe it's not my time, right? But really, it's 100% my time. Why am I focused on the negative? Why am I focused on what I can't do instead of what I can do? Paulina, I love this. You guys, let me hear it. Let me see some real stuff. Paulina says, I worked enough. I can take a break. Okay, that is for real. Good morning, Stephanie. It's so good to see your face. That is real, Paulina. Yesterday, I worked so much. I tend to do this thing where like I'll work really hard for a couple of days and then I'll be like, okay, like I worked really hard the last couple of days and I signed a lot of people, so like I can just take this break, right? But then you have like 3 or 4 days where you go without signing somebody. Okay, the other day, you guys, I'm transparent. Since my Facebook got like locked out, I got like really scared to continue doing the 10 haps a day, right? Because I was just afraid that it was going to continuously lock me out. And so, hi, baby. Can you go get daddy, please? She always finds me, and then I realize it's because I'm screaming. I don't realize that I yell throughout the house. Anyways, what was I going to say? Shoot. Oh, the 10 haps a day. So in my mind, I told myself, like, I've only taken like a week off. It's only been like a week since I haven't done them. And then yesterday I reopened. Hi, baby. Yeah, you got your baby. Honey, go show daddy. Daddy wants to see your baby. Okay. Yeah. Like, where does he go? I swear he just like sneaks off. Like the second I'm like, hey, I got my wake up with Rochelle, he's just gone. Where did he go? Anyways, I looked and saw how many days I had gone without. I don't know. Go find him. Oh, he's on the couch. Okay, go get him. So, sorry guys. I looked and saw how many days I had not been consistently doing the haps, and I was like disgusted with myself. I was absolutely disgusted because in your mind, you think that you're like, oh, it's only been a couple days, or it's only been, this amount of time. And because I was locked out, and you tell yourself all these lies. I'm just using this as an example because it really hit home for me yesterday. And I was like, this is not okay. Like, this is not okay for me to get into a certain point where I'm like, it's okay, I'll start back up tomorrow. It's okay, I'll start back up tomorrow. And then all of a sudden you look at how many tomorrows went by. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, this is not okay. Like, this is absolutely not okay. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't been working, because I have, and I've been signing, and that's great. But how many more people could I have been bringing on right now if I was consistent in what I was doing? Okay, so the next one. Lisette says that I'm not losing weight. You know what's crazy is there was a book. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to have to find it and figure out what it was, because I'm going to butcher all of this that I'm telling you. But there was a book that, like, this girl literally just didn't work out and didn't eat healthy. Okay. But she told herself that she was losing weight, and she lost like 50 pounds or something. I need to find it, but it was literally all in her mind. It was 100% in her mind, which that sound, I know Jordan's like, yeah, right. No, seriously, I need to find it, because I think that it would like help you guys. It was a book about mindset, obviously. Right. And like what you can put your mind to, and what you set your mind to actually happens no matter what you're doing. And I just absolutely, that's what it made me think of for some reason, like that we're not losing weight. So this can be the same thing in our business. If you've worked enough and you can take a break, what about losing weight? What about tracking what you're eating and tracking what you're doing, and then being able to look at that and go, okay, maybe this is why I'm not losing weight. And I'm not saying this is your particular issue, but I'm saying for me, like, I was like, let me track what I'm doing. Why am I not signing right this second? Like, what have I been doing wrong? And because of those trackers that I now have in place, I'm able to look at myself and own it. I think it's really hard for us to look back and be like, I don't know why I'm not signing, or I don't know why I'm not losing weight, or I don't know why, I'm feeling like crap every day. But when you start to write down what you've been eating, or when you start to write down what you've been doing, all of a sudden it's like you can't not take like responsibility, right? I was looking at Ryan last night when I found out that I hadn't done HAPS for so long, and I'm like, I have to own this. Like, I have to own this. I kept saying tomorrow, and tomorrow is freaking today. And I went to bed last night with 17 HAPS up, and they're blowing up. They're absolutely blowing up. And so for me, it's just a matter of making sure that we're staying consistent with it, because I'm consistent with everything else in my business. But I'll be the first one to admit that HAPS sometimes really overwhelm me. And it's not that they overwhelm me like it's in a good way, right? But when I got blocked, not once, but twice from Facebook, I was legitimately, it's not just detrimental to my business. You guys, my team page was down. Like nobody could see anything. Like, I'm like, I am not trying to hurt my team by me not being able to be on Facebook. So I kind of had to just take a little bit of a break and figure out what I was doing wrong there. And I'm glad I did it, because now I kind of have mastered exactly what needs to be done so that I'm not being blocked. Stephanie, I always say the wrong thing. No one wants to be on my team. Yes. I was just watching a video, Impact Theory, and Dave Hollis was on it. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Impact Theory podcast, but you can also find it on YouTube. And it was so good, talking about negative self-talk, like negative things that come through your mind. Even if you don't say them out loud, it's like you're subconsciously thinking this, and then you're always going to say the wrong thing, and you're always going to drive people away from joining your team without you even knowing that you're doing it, because you're just like, well, it must be me. It must be me every single time. When in reality, and I said this yesterday, and now Lisette's on here, so I'll just say it again because it's so good, you guys. She signed 30 distributors before one ever took off. I don't even know how many I signed before one ever took off. Like, that's how much I needed to be tracking in the beginning of my business, okay? Like, if we all had trackers and actually knew what we were doing, we could start to see where we need to help our business, where we need to grow our mind, where we need to help with that. So for you, Steph, I think just really pouring into positive thinking. And there's a book, It Takes What It Takes. I want you to read that book. It's called It Takes What It Takes. I can't remember who it's by. Alyssa, if you know, can you put it in the chats? I know you've read it too. So good. So good. And it's like all about how, and excuse Trevor something. Yeah. Excuse my French, but he literally says, stop saying stupid shit out loud. Like, and Pam Souter said that, you guys, and I was dying laughing. She was like, don't say stupid shit. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know Pam Souter had that word in her, but it was so adorable. So just don't say stupid shit out loud. It becomes 40% more likely to happen if you say it out loud. And I think or maybe it's when you're thinking it, it's 40% more likely to happen. And when you say it out loud, it's like 70% more likely to happen. It's absolutely insane. But he gives really good examples, and some of them are really crazy, like to the point where there was somebody who said he was going to drop dead of a heart attack at 40 years old, and he legit dropped dead of a heart attack at 40 years old, like years later. But because he kept saying that, because he kept acting like it was like this thing he was going to do, it literally happened. He brought it into fruition, which is nuts, because if you think about that with what you're saying to yourself, that's going to continue to happen, right? It's going to manifest itself. But if we switch those things and we learn how to journal in our gratitude journal, and we learn how to like write out things that we want to come to fruition, then that's what's going to come to fruition instead of those negative things. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting. Yeah, Lisette, Mother's Day threw me off. It took me a couple weeks to get back. When I get out of a routine, I tend to beat myself up. Drop a 1 if that's you. When I, even just for one day, I'm like a mess. I'm a freaking mess. Like, I got out of this. Now I don't know how to get back in. And then it just becomes this negative pattern of like, I messed up, instead of just taking control of it. One thing that's really been helping me is I will literally just turn on whatever is on YouTube that like, it's always on, like Ed Milet or the Impact Theory or like whatever. If I'm ever feeling down on myself, which is a lot lately, you guys, I've been telling you how, I went over to Cammy's and she was really shocked. She said, I've never heard you speak I've never heard you battle with negative thoughts. I've never heard that you've had a battle with negative thoughts. And I haven't. I have never battled with negative thoughts until this pregnancy. I don't know if it's my hormones. I don't know if it's the pain that I'm in. I don't know what it is, but I literally on a daily basis am battling negative things in my mind and trying to get out of them, trying to work through them. And how I've found best to do that is you guys, I was like a blubbering mess the other night. And I was like, you have to wake me up. I was talking to Brian. I was like, you have to wake me up. And he's like, no, you yell at me. You're like, I'm still tired. Like, I don't want to wake you up. And I was like, you have to wake me up. And I wrote down the things that I needed him to say to me to get my ass out of bed. Excuse my French. But like, it's not that I don't want to get out of bed, you guys. It's that literally 12 hours is like minimum. Like I will fall asleep while eating. It's not a joke. Like I've talked to my doctor about it. Like I'm that tired all the time. I have zero energy whatsoever, no matter what I do, no matter what the doctor has said, no matter what. Like, and so for me, I was tired of that. I will not accept it. I will not just say, that's all right. It's just this pregnancy. Like I will not do that. I have things to do. I have places to go. Right. And so I wrote down exactly what I needed him to say to me. And so for 3 days in a row, he's been coming in, waking me up saying, good morning, Miss Ambassador. Your team needs you. I need you. Your daughter wants to play with you. Get out of bed. Let's have a good morning. And he's like giving me all this positivity instead of just like, hey babe, do you want to get up? Do you want to get up? I'm like, no, get out. Like, absolutely not. But how in the world am I going to shoo him out if he's saying these positive things, these good things? Like, this is what your goals are. This is what you want. Let's get out of bed. Let's do this together. And it sounds really sad. Okay. Like some of you are probably like, good Lord, you need your husband's help to get out of bed. But listen, like it's what's working for me right now. And I feel so much better because I'm getting up earlier And it's not even that I'm being more productive in that time. It's that I'm feeling better about myself. I'm using that time to put things into my brain that I need to be hearing. And I've never done so much personal development. I've never done so much growth. And so if that's something that you need help with, I encourage you, like, don't be afraid to ask somebody to help you, not just to get out of bed, but just ask a partner that can be even on the team, somebody that can, like, what's it called, like, be accountability partners. Like, maybe it's getting up for these every single morning and you're counting on each other to see each other's faces. Like, I'll be there if you'll be there. Like, let's do it together. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times I feel like that helps people to just show up. We do things for other people. That's really what it is, right? You do things for other people. If we did things for ourselves all the time, then shoot, I'd be in bed all day long. Like, and not in a depressing way. I just mean in a tired way. Okay. Yes, Stephanie, he was on with Ed Milet. Yep, he's so good. He's actually like he's the sports guy that they call in to, like, help with their negative mindsets, basically. Yes, yes, yes. You're so hard on yourself, Stephanie. Me too. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you guys. This is really hard. This is really hard for me to share, but I shared it with Cami the other day, and this is why it, like, impacted me so much. So when I can't get out of bed, it's like every other day, or like I have my good days and I have my bad days. And when I'm saying I can't get out of bed, I actually mean, like, physically, like my legs are numb because of my sciatic pain. And, like, so I'll wake up and I can't move my legs and I just am in tears. I'm in so much pain. I can't get out of bed by myself. Okay, sorry, I might start crying. And Huntley comes in and goes, sorry. Mommy, two hands, I'll help you. Like, she's trying to help me get out of bed because I can't. I'm sorry. This is something I've been, like, struggling with, okay? This has never been something I've dealt with, ever. And it's not that I am, like, upset or, like, sorry, let me get it together. This pregnancy, I am more grateful for than anything in this world, okay? 100%. So the reason why I'm so hard on myself is because you guys know that we had a miscarriage right before this one. And so when I'm in pain and when I just feel like freaking death and that I can't do the things that I want to do, especially because it's new for me, like with Huntley, I didn't have any of this pain. Okay. I had, like, morning sickness and, like, stuff like that, but nothing like this. Nothing like my physical attributes was, like, affecting me. Right. I was helping Brian remodel our house when I was pregnant, you know, like, I was painting, I was up on the counters, like, I was doing all these things, and I can't even, like, hardly get out of bed some days. And so I was telling Cami about how hard I am on myself when these negative thoughts creep in, and they literally creep in to the point where I'm like, you can't even get out of bed. How are you going to go ambassador? Like, that's the thoughts that I have, literally eating me alive. Like, you can't even play with your daughter. You can't even sit on the floor. Like, it's like this, like, the devil is just, like, eating my fears, eating my pain, eating everything that I have. And it's everything that I have to fight back because I'm still in pain all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I can forget about it. It's not like I can just shift that and be grateful and happy. And, like, it's so hard for me. So sorry. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm hard on myself, and I've always been hard on myself, but I really had to learn to give myself grace. And I thought I knew how to give myself grace until this pregnancy. And if there's one thing that God is, like, really trying to show me lately is with this, like, quarantine thing, having systems in place, having trackers in place, like, not just flying by the seat of my pants all the time. And also just, like, writing down gratitude. One thing that Cami told me to do, and this is day 3, is I used to write my gratitude in the mornings. And she's like, you need to write them at night. Start writing them at night, because in the morning you wake up more grateful. For some reason, you fall asleep with this gratitude mindset and you're, like, thanking God for all of these things. And then when you wake up, you still have that mindset intact. And it's so true. The last couple of mornings I've woken up and been like, thank you, Lord, that I can feel my legs. Like, thank you, Lord, that I can sit up on my own. Like, and it's like the silliest little things, you guys, but it's things that have, like, it just automatically starts happening instead of me getting upset and frustrated. And then the other thing is, when I do have my bad days, because I just had one yesterday, I wake up and I say, thank God for Brian that he can help me get out of bed and I'm not alone through this. And he's not at work while I'm trying to like care for Huntley and all, like I'm able to be more thankful and I'm able to like see the bigger picture. And it just really starts, love you too, Lisette. It just really starts to help me. And so anyways, if you guys are feeling any negative thoughts whatsoever, try writing your gratitude at night. And it can literally just be like even 2 or 3 things. Like if you're so tired, just write whatever you're feeling grateful for and then go to sleep. And when you wake up, you'll have more grateful mindset. Sorry, I'm just reading some. Okay. I wanted to just talk with you guys today. So I'm glad that I got to talk through some of those. We only have like 8 minutes left. So I'm going to read the devotional. All the days are, okay, let me start over. All the days of the afflicted are bad, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Proverbs 15:15. Not just an attitude. During one of my research studies, I learned how important it is for life and relationships for people to be able to look on the bright side of things. I discovered that temperament and personality type do not determine cheerfulness. In fact, several of my study participants describe themselves as recovering pessimists. The key to living a cheerful life is choosing gratitude. This is weird. I don't choose these, you guys. I just read the next page. Like, I don't understand this. Transforming gratitude chooses to view the glass half full. When your son unpacks his backpack in the middle of the kitchen table just minutes before dinner, you say how glad you are to see that he's not putting off studying until bedtime, and resist asking if he would like the family to eat on the floor while he does his homework. Transforming gratitude chooses to intentionally repeat the positive rather than the negative. When someone asks how your holiday break was, you talk about the great food, fun, and family, and completely skip over the complaining cousin you had to endure for a week. Transforming gratitude chooses to focus on the one piece of good news amidst the cluster of bad. Your flight for the business trip was delayed 2 hours. The toddler in the next seat spilled his mom's coffee on you, and your rental car wasn't ready. But when your boyfriend asks how your trip is going, you tell him you landed safely and the view is beautiful, mentioning nothing of the hassles in getting there. I want to say something really quick about this. If you guys have ever had your flight delayed or canceled, I don't remember who it was that was saying this, but they said that they look around and they ask God, okay, who am I supposed to meet? Okay, my flight was canceled. My flight was delayed. I'm here for a reason. Who is placed in my path right now that I'm supposed to meet? Like, I loved that because it forces you to be in the moment and not like frustrated and mad and on your phone. It forces you to look around and be like, I'm supposed to meet somebody here. Like, God placed me here for a reason. Was it Beyond J-Buzz? Yeah, I don't remember where I heard it. I'm like, you guys, I'm doing so much self-development right now that it's all just like blurring together. But this is good. This is good because I need it. Transforming gratitude chooses to believe the best about someone when we know the worst about them. Yes, your college student has overdrawn their account multiple times, but you tell her how proud you are of her hard work, and you continue to send her money for food and toiletries, trusting that eventually she will learn to manage better. Transforming gratitude chooses to overlook minor offenses rather than magnifying them. When your husband reaches up to open the door of the church to usher you in for a friend's wedding, his arm bumps your head and knocks your hair clip out. You smile and excuse yourself to fix it rather than having an exasperated sigh. Transforming gratitude is not always easy, but it is a choice any of us can make. The beautiful irony is that when we work to practice this choice, we discover that we don't have to work hard at cheerfulness and joy in life because now they come much more naturally. Which gratitude actions mentioned here would serve you well right now? Identify one, write it down, and resolve to pray about and practice it. I love all of that because we were just talking about gratitude and what it can do for you. So that's so funny. there's a, what's this called? A quote right next to it too that says negative people need drama like oxygen. Stay positive. It'll take their breath away. I love that for some reason. Honey, what are you doing? Anyways, honey, go with daddy, please. I'll be done in a second. Okay. I'm going to end us with a prayer of Jabez because I have not been doing that. I have not been doing that. And I hate that I haven't been doing it because I've been implementing so many other things that I think sometimes I get overwhelmed and I forget to do things instead of making them a habit. So, the prayer of Jabez. Oh, that you would bless us all here today and enlarge our territory. Let your hand be with us and keep us from harm so that we will be free from pain. I just for some reason, I told you guys this before and I posted it on our team page yesterday. But I've just really been speaking life over my team. If you have people that are on your team that you may feel, and again, I'm almost done, but I want to leave you guys with this. If you have people on your team that you maybe feel like they have what it takes, but they don't see it, like you believe in them way more, or maybe they joined and you had so much expectations for them and you were excited for them and then they never saw anything in it and they never wanted to do anything for it or with it, pray over them. And I know that sounds weird, but pray over them, speak life into them, not just about coming back into this business, but about them feeling like they're worthy, about them wanting more. Speaking life into your team has really showed me a lot of things lately. People coming out of the woodwork that I never ever thought were going to ever want to do this again, or people joining me that, have been watching for so long. And, every single time that we have a sale, those type of people that are like, nope, still don't have it. Nope, still don't have it. Nope, still don't have it. And you're just like, this is insane. I had 2 girls join me yesterday. One of them borrowed it and one of them pre-sold samples to do it. And the only thing that I changed was really praying in people that truly need this and want this. And instead of being like, oh, I have dud potential distributors, I was like, no, this list of potential distributors isn't duds. They just don't know what they don't have their hands on. And so I started praying over that list. And I'm telling you, people are coming out of the woodwork in this team and off this team. And it's the only thing that I've changed. So what's crazy about this is, once again, that's less work. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been preaching this to you guys for so long, but it's less work to pray over the people that are already in your organization and then pray over the people that have already been, or that are already in your network, than it is to run yourself ragged on being like, no, I just have to find new people. I just have to find new people. It's that I wasn't taking care of the ones that I had prayer wise, or I don't even know the word, speaking life over them wise. And I think that as leaders, sometimes we get into a point where we're like, well, if they didn't want it, they didn't want it. I'm moving on, right? It's so easy to do that. But what's a quick prayer over them in their life? We have no idea what they're going through. No idea. I just shared with you guys something I haven't shared with anybody, that we have no idea what people are going through in their lives. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside or on social media. We're all dealing with something internally. And if we can turn that over and give it to God, and then turn it over and ask him to bless our team, ask him to bless the people that are in it and the people that are supposed to come into it. I shared with some of you that Pam Souter said she had this vision on the beach one day. She had this vision of one person standing on the very edge of the water, and all the way out of the sea, it literally pyramided, in a pyramid shape, went all the way out of all these people standing there. And all she heard was, let them in. All of these people that she had been subconsciously not allowing to enter her network, not allowing to enter her team, because she was so focused on saying things like, nobody even wants this. I'm here by myself. I'm not, nobody wants to do this with me. Or Stephanie, what you were saying, I say the wrong thing, or I'm not a good leader, or whatever. You're subconsciously closing the door on all of those people. You have no idea who is ready to enter into your network, but you're not praying for them. You're not asking God to bring them into your network. So they're just standing out there in the sea saying, let me in, like, let me in. And as she continued to realize that that was a vision for her and that she needed to let go of that control of who was already on her team and open the floodgates for the people that she had been praying for to come in. Use that in whatever way that it helps you, but it really helped me to understand that subconsciously I'm holding people out because I'm trying to hold on to what I have instead of allowing more people to come in and more people to flourish in this business. Lisette said, somebody said to her last night, wow, you never give up on me. And she said she'll join today. Yes. And even distributors that are already on your team that are coming back, I can't tell you how many of them have been like, thank you for never giving up on me. And it's because we just always have that open door policy. We always have that whenever you're ready to come back. I just had this happen the other day, actually, a new distributor that joined last month. And you guys, I always tell my new distributors, like right up front, literally in the first day, I'm like, listen, if you're not coming to me, you will hear from me periodically, but you need to be coming to me. If you want to be successful, when I give you the day one training, I need you to say, I'm ready for day two. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to come back to you tomorrow and be like, you're ready for day two? Like, I've got too much going on. Like, if you want to be successful at this, continue to come to me. And I told her this when we first started. And about 4 days had gone by. I usually do like 3 to 5 days. And then I'm reaching out to all my new distributors and make sure that I like, you know, connect with them and just say, hey girl, how's it going? Are you ready to get started again? You know, so that I don't leave them in the dust. And she was like, no, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on day 3 for 5 days or however it was. And she was really kind of hostile with me and frustrated. And I was like, listen, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, you guys know what I said. I just was like, telling her like, I'm so sorry about this, but let's get you back on track. And she was like, no, this company is just not what I thought it was going to be. Your life is so perfect. You have no idea. I'm a single mother of 3, like all these things of just like, it really showed me, and I'm not mad at her for this. It just really showed me that people only see what we put out there, right? People only see that they think that I have this perfect life with only one child that is just this angel, because all you see is Huntley being an angel on my stories, right? You don't see that she's nutso. You don't see that I can't get out of bed in the morning. You don't see that I battle being in pain all day long, and I'm still showing up for myself and my team and my family. And so it just like one of those, I think the reason why it didn't bother me as much is because I've been doing so much self-development, is because I've been like, you know what? She doesn't know what I'm going through, and I'm going to choose to forgive her for that. And what I ended up saying was, I will always be here for you. And all of those things that you just mentioned that you have that are working against you are the reasons why you need this business so much. So when you're ready, I'll be here arms wide open. And I left it at that, and I walked away. And I'm hoping that someday she will come back and say, you know what, you were right, I'm ready, because I never shut that door on her. So even when we have negative people, or even when we have people who we think may not even deserve this, do you know what I mean? Because sometimes there's just those type of people that you're just like, like, I don't understand. But when we choose to forgive and when we choose to let things slide, I feel like it just opens our heart more for more people to come in, but it also opens our heart more so that we're not affected by things that people say, because we're so busy working on ourselves and helping others. So anyways, that's what I want to leave you guys with. Sorry I kept you a little bit later. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning.